Hey everybody, and welcome to a Deers Embroidery Legacy Live. I'm so thankful and honored that you took time out of your day to join us. Let us know where you're checking in from, and we want to honor all of the mothers out there. I know that Mother's Day is still a couple of weeks away, but it's coming up real soon, and we wanted to honor you guys. If you can see in the little slide there, there's a cute little guy in the corner. If you think that little guy's cute, please give me some hearts, because he's actually my grandson. That's my grandson, Noah. And Beth, you can't see Beth actually, and well, she's there, but you can't see her face. But we just want to honor all of you moms out there. And I also just want to let you guys know that we are going to give away a free design. So if I go to full screen, James, I just want to show you guys the design. And this is the design. I think that Beth and Jesse, who are helping within YouTube and Facebook on the live, they will put the link in for this, but it is the Supermom design. So you can get that design absolutely free. Now, it's my hope that you guys will use this and brighten up somebody's day, because I know things are kind of getting back to normal, but not really. We're still in the midst of a pandemic, and for a lot of moms out there, it's awesome, and grandmothers, you're surrounded by family and your kids are with you. For a lot of people right now, they don't necessarily have that luxury, and we are really, really blessed to have, the internet and FaceTime, and we can Zoom each other and we can connect electronically, but it's just not the same as being there in person. So there might be some moms and grandmothers out there that are connected, but they just aren't able to be there in person. So if you can brighten up, if you know somebody who is in that situation, please brighten up their day. And with that, I give a big call out to my wife, because she hasn't seen her daughter or her oldest son or our grandkids in over a year now. Either have I, but it's all about moms. And also, I haven't been able to see my mother or my grandmother in over a year. So this is a little bit of a different Mother's Day, but we just want you guys to feel blessed and to help others. Now, we have been really blessed, though, because one of our kids, and his name is James. James is actually here with us. And James, you want to say a quick hi?
Sure. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And just so you know, if you do want to get the free Mother's Day design, just go ahead and click the link that Jesse or Beth has posted in the live chat. You can download it from our Digitizing Made Easy Facebook group, and it'll be available in the files section for you. Thanks again for joining us.
Awesome. Well, again, please download that. Just bless someone, make them feel special. And that is the goal behind this entire thing. Now, I also know that there's something else that makes people feel special, and that is when you give away something for free. So I'm just going to go over here, and let's go right to this slide right there. And who wants to win a prize? Okay. If you want to win a prize, please just type in win, or I want to win, or let me win something. And I'm going to tell you what you're going to win. You can actually, let me explain how the rules are going to go, because there was some confusion last time. It is not the first person who types in the word win. So that doesn't automatically mean that you are the winner. We have Jesse and Beth, who are randomly going to pick some people to win the prizes. And it is completely random. It doesn't really matter what you say. It can be win, or I really want to win something really, really bad. It doesn't matter whether you write a book or one word, but we'll just choose somebody randomly. We are going to give away a design pack to two people, one in Facebook and one in YouTube. And it is a Mummy and Me design pack, which I'll show you in a minute. And the other thing we're going to do is give away some spots to our webinars that we've just announced. We have some new webinars coming up, and that's kind of going to be what I'm going to talk about today a little bit. Is after we show you guys the new Mommy and Me pack and a couple things, we will take any questions that you have with regards to the webinars that are coming up, and hopefully, clear all that up for you. Do we have any hearts there, James? Anything going on? Do we have people checking in from places, all that good stuff? So
Absolutely. We've got people joining in from all over the place. So welcome, everybody, and quite a few people that want to win. So.
Awesome. Okay, so we will announce winners really soon. James is in contact with Beth and Jesse, so he will let you guys know. Now, the other thing is, when your name is announced, you will need to, what's the rules behind this, James? Because I don't want to mess it up.
Sure. So if you are selected as a winner, if you could please send us an email at contact@embroiderylegacy.com. We will take note of your name, but it just makes it a little bit easier to get the prizes out to you.
Awesome, awesome. And with regards to the webinars, we are announcing 2 webinars. So if you win one of the webinars, you get to choose which one you will want to be in. So that's also kind of cool as well. So again, start typing out win, because we will choose somebody randomly pretty soon. Now, I wanted to show you our Mummy and Me pack. And this is a design pack that I came out with. It's the only design pack that I did for Mother's Day this year. And it is actually a cute pack because it has sayings for both mom and for the little ones. And if you are an ultimate, or not an ultimate, but if you are a club member with our Embroidery Legacy Design Club, yes, you can download these within your membership. And we do give you both the mommy and the me sayings. So you don't just get one without the other. They are already grouped together. And if you aren't a member and you just want to get this, they're normally $3.95 each, but there's 20 different sayings. There's, I think, 41 or 42 different designs, and it's only $14.95. So I know the kids are going to put up the links there. If you are interested in either of those packs, you can actually just follow the link, and they are there. And I do have a couple samples that I'm going to show you. So I can come back onto screen here. Awesome. And this one, actually, can we go to the screen over here? Because this will be easier, because that way I can read it as we're going. This is one of them, and keep in mind that this is for the parents, or mummy, I should say. It's the little things in life, and then under that we have the little things. So the idea is mom wears one, and the little one wears the other. Here's another sample. You hold the key to, I guess, my heart, and then there is a key and a heart. So that's the other one that we ran. And this one is perfect because it says, sorry, we're late. And this is, I'm the reason we're late. So there is a whole bunch of really, really cute sayings. Blessed Mama, and then we have Mama's Blessing. And of course, the one that was, the one that my daughter chose was the, what was the one that Beth had on there, James? It was
Chaos and Chaos Creator.
Yeah, the Chaos and the Chaos Creator. So those are kind of fun. They're kind of cool. And you do get all of the design packs included for that one low price. It's like 81% off. Now, the only other special that we have for Mother's Day at this point, and I know the question is going to come up with regards to the Hatch software, is there going to be a special? I will let you know right now, we have not been notified as of yet if there will be a special or not with Hatch. Keep your ears open, because I have no idea. They could announce one. As a reseller, we basically follow the rules, and all the resellers do. We are notified by Hatch, and then we are able to publicly make that announcement. And keep in mind, if it does go on sale, you'll want to choose us as your reseller, because you'll get the same great price, but you also get our exclusive bonuses. Now, the other thing that we have available as far as a special is our Echidna Hooping Station combos, and they are actually $100 off during the Mother's Day sale. And I'm not sure how long they're on sale. I do know that we are almost out of inventory. We actually do have inventory that it's coming in. I think it's somewhere across the sea right now, but it is coming in. Not sure when it's going to land. So if you do take advantage of the Mother's Day special and get the $100 off, and that does include shipping, then you will be basically getting first come, first serve. If we run out of inventory, we'll honor the sale, but we might have to wait until we get restocked. So there is a limited amount of inventory that's there. If we can go to full screen on me, James. If you've never seen one of the hooping stations before, very quickly, this is what it looks like in person. There actually is two, I guess, sides to it. This one would be for onesies and for smaller items and for EB bears and that kind of stuff. And you basically hold your hoops in on a non-slip surface using magnets. So it works with any brand of machine. And whether it's commercial or home, any type of hoop. It even works great with magnetic hoops because it is a metal plate with a non-slip surface on top. But then you also have on the other side your, I guess, plate for sleeves or to get into, arms or down pant legs, anything like that. And then we do have the big hooping station, which we have for youth and ladies, and it actually is set up for adults. So those are the Echidna hooping stations. If you've never seen them, follow the links. We have some great little videos on how they work and how you set them up and why they're so special. The best thing about them is, and give me some thumbs up for those of you who do have them, because we know there's a lot of them out there, They actually work great because they're kind of tubular, but they also allow you to hold your stabilizer in place perfectly using magnets so your stabilizer doesn't slip all around while you're trying to hoop things. And for me, that is actually a win-win, because I can't tell you how many times I've hooped an item and then go to check it and the stabilizer has moved afterwards. If that's happened to you, let us know in the comments, because it is a little bit on the frustrating side when that does happen. So those are the only two specials that we have, guys. We have our Mommy and Me pack, and we have our Echidna hooping stations. And now I just wanted to go, yep. Oh, awesome. Okay. James, you go on camera now so you can announce the winners.
Sure.
Awesome. I'm trying to get James on camera more and more, as much as he doesn't like it.
Alrighty, so the winner from Facebook for the Mommy and Me design pack is Peggy Rose Ratcliffe. So if you could please email us at contact@embroiderylegacy.com, and Kathleen Owens from YouTube. So congratulations, girls. Thank you so much for entering.
Awesome. Okay, now those are the first two for Mommy and Me. We still have more prizes coming up,
Absolutely.
and we'll let you guys know about those with regards to our webinars. And we do have 2 webinars that we are announcing. So there's 2 webinars that we have just announced. If you haven't gotten an email yet, or if you're just joining us, we are actually doing a webinar called Embroidery Digitizing for Beginners. Now, I do, and again, if you have any questions, please ask them during this little part of the session, because I know that we have our digitizing challenge on YouTube, which is free, and you can download the free Hatch software. We did have our virtual webinars, which were, I guess, the webinars where we did 3 weeks in a row as a live webinar and had lessons in between. We have our digitizing, I guess, dream course, which is an extended course that actually will take you weeks or months to complete. And now we're adding another one, which is our beginners workshop. Now, the reason why I did this is I have been giving classes for years and years live. And usually if I was at, let's say, Original Sewing Expo, or if I was at the Sewing and Stitchery Expo, or if we did a session in a dealer store, we would do a one-day session. And we always sold out at pretty much every location that we ever did. Even with the Sewing and Stitchery Expos, how many classes did I do every year? I mean, James, they sold out and they added classes every single time.
Yeah, we were always busy.
Yeah, they were always busy. Now, with that said, I think that people really like the idea of having kind of a one-day class, and that's what we're doing. It is a one-day, 2.5 hour, it might run into 3, but it's a 2.5 hour class where I will give a foundation on some of the theory of digitizing, and then I will show you how to digitize a design that we're going to do. Now, there is I guess part of it which is interactive, where I can answer the questions, but not everybody keeps up at the same pace or at the same time in a live setting, and that's where it gets frustrating. So what we decided to do, we can probably go off that slide just for a second because I want to show a sample. What we decided to do was have the live session, and then we are actually going to give you a video lesson that will accompany it, and this you can actually, after the webinar, watch at your own time, and it will completely redo and finish the entire design from beginning to end. Now, is the one thing that I know people will ask is it the same as the other webinars that we've done? To an extent, yes, it is. I will be showing the same hotkeys. I'll give everybody the 101 on how to get around the software. I will show how to use a running stitch, a satin stitch, and a fill stitch. I will explain underlay. We will, cover mapping, all that kind of stuff. But it's different in that it is a different design. And this is the design that we're actually going to run right here. And let's go down on this camera here. I think it'll be a little bit cleaner. This design actually does incorporate some, I guess, not only running and satin stitches, but it also incorporates fills that are using blending techniques. There's 2 colors of different greens inside of that tree, and then I used manual techniques to give it some actual depth in the design. And then within the flowers and within the actual grass, we're actually using manual techniques showing different stitch lengths. So you will finish this design from beginning to end completely with, within this course. And that way you can do it at your own pace, at your own time. Now, we do have the offer from Hatch to download the 30-day free trial. If you've never downloaded it before and you sign up for this webinar, don't go and download it right now. You'll want to wait until getting close to the webinar, and we will send you information so that you can download it. If you already have downloaded the trial previously, we can get you a temporary code to reactivate it during the time of the course. And if you own Hatch, then it's perfect because you can participate. So even if you've done some of our other interactive education or our last webinar, yes, there is information that will repeat, but I am doing more on blending and more on creating, I guess, special effects in this class than I was the others. And the good news is, it's $29.95, and I think that's a really reasonable price for taking the 2.5-hour webinar plus getting the actual interactive lessons that you can complete. And then there is also an option, because the number one thing that we got within all of our other education when we did webinars was, even after we allowed people to watch for an extended period of time, they wanted more time to watch. So what we've done with this one is, if you want to keep that lesson in your classroom forever, you can at a small additional price. So that we did kind of add in there so that you guys could learn at your own pace. Any questions, James, or is it pretty clear?
Yes, we do have a few questions.
Okay.
And just to note, the live replay will be available in your classroom for 1 week after the stream. So you do not need to purchase it, but it might be a good way to refresh.
Yes. Yeah. I guess the replay and the actual class will be there for a week afterwards, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The digitizing course, is it for Brilliance or just Hatch?
Actually, we do teach it in just Hatch. I guess the theory that I teach does cross over and could be applied to any software program. My opinion has always been, because I do teach lessons on Stitch Artist, on Perla, on the Bernina software, the Janome software, the PE and the Palette software, Masterworks. We actually have lessons for, I think, 10 different programs, but I found that within an interactive setting, it is pretty much impossible to teach a curriculum or a course where everybody is using their own software, especially if you are trying to see and do. So even if you don't own Hatch and you never ever have plans to purchase it, that's fine. You do not need to. The education that I give you will show you the buttons that you need to use and will take you through the course, and then you can apply what you learn to whatever software program you currently own. So you do not have to own the software, but we do teach it in one program because it just makes it easier. And that's one thing I do love about Hatch, as far as their free, I guess, trial version, which is normally a 30-day trial, is that it is, I think, one of the only platforms that allows you to use the demo version, but you can't, most of them, you can't actually save out the files. With the Hatch software within the demo, you can actually save the files that you've created within the demo, and you can run them on the machine, which is really, really important, because this is kind of my tagline: the proof is in the stitching. You can't actually tell if it's a design that's digitized well by looking at it on a computer screen. You can only tell if it's done properly when you actually see it and hear it run on your machine.
Awesome.
Other question?
Yes, Vanessa is asking, I am very new to embroidery. Will these classes be too much for me to follow?
Absolutely not. If you are new to embroidery, in my opinion, this is the perfect opportunity to go for a test drive. I always tell people that I've seen a lot of people who buy digitizing software, and they buy it because they need to buy it because they're getting into embroidery, where, to be honest, you may not really ever want to digitize. You don't need to buy digitizing software to be an embroiderer. You might need software to open designs, you might need software to merge designs, you might need software to create lettering, or if you start really getting into it, you might want an editing suite that allows you to break things apart and play with different elements. But that can be purchased at a more cost-effective, I guess, way than buying a full-blown digitizing program. So Hatch is modular. You can basically buy it, as you need it or as you move up. So this is a perfect way to test drive the software. And after you do this course, you can then determine, this is something I'd like to do, or I've just saved myself $500 because I don't need to buy digitizing. I just want editing software. And it will make you a better embroiderer. This has always been my I guess, input, is that if you have theory as an embroiderer, whether you choose to digitize or not, knowing the theory will help you be a better embroiderer, because you will understand why designs aren't sewing well. If you have something you bought online and it stitches terribly, and you don't know if it's because you hooped it incorrectly, or you used the wrong stabilizer, or did I use the right needle? Should I have used sharp or ballpoint? Most of the time, it's actually the digitizer. I mean, it's kind of like one of those garbage in, garbage out things, where you put a poorly digitized design in a machine, you will get poor results. You put a well-digitized design in a machine, you will get good results. So it will actually give you a crash course in what is good and what is bad, and give you a whole bunch of theory to help you along your embroidery journey. Make
Awesome.
sense?
Absolutely. This kind of ties into the last question, but will the webinar be useful if I've already taken the free challenges?
Yes, it will, because it is a different design completely, and it will actually, I guess, build on some of that theory that I taught within the free challenge. I often use the thing that all of our education is kind of built to scale upwards. If you took our free challenge, it's a great way to get some of the basic foundation. This webinar goes up to the next level, and if you really want to learn how to digitize, that's where we have our Digitizer's Dream course, which is 15 lessons long, comes with 3 certification lessons, and it actually covers things in a lot more depth. It is more a fact that you are doing different things, because digitizing is repetitive. I mean, there's only 3 stitch types. There's underlay, pull compensation, there's density. So all of those I guess, tools to make a design always remain the same. And the way you create objects always remains the same. It's the difference of the design and all of the different options when you're creating it that makes digitizing so unique. So yes, it will differ from the challenge, and this will also differ. If you did take our virtual webinar where we did 3 weeks, give us a thumbs up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. One thing I do know how to do is digitize, and hopefully I teach it very well in a way that people can understand. So even if you've taken that, this is, again, a little bit different.
Awesome. And just a quick reminder between questions, we are actually giving away a free spot to the Beginners Workshop on Facebook and YouTube. So be sure to comment win, and we'll
Awesome.
be choosing a winner very shortly for this webinar.
Awesome. Okay, so
is this course similar to the 2020 Beginning Digitizer classes?
The 2020 Beginners Digitizing classes, it depends on where and when it was given. I did in some of the live events. If you were at the Sewing Stitchery Expo, I kind of did this same example, but this one I actually added blending techniques into the tree, where I'm actually adding more special effects and feathered edges and blending fills with, I guess, stitching over top. In a live setting, if we have 3 hours to do a design in a live class setting, that, to be honest, really isn't enough time, because in a live setting, people are either advanced or they are just opening the software for the first time, and then you have everywhere in between. So some people finish the design, other people don't even get close. And that's where the interactive side really comes in handy, because you get to do it at your own pace. You can pause me and play me through the entire lesson. So if it takes you 3 hours to do the lesson, then you're probably a little more advanced. If it takes you 3 days, then you might be more of a beginner, but the point is you can take your time.
Awesome.
Awesome. Is that good?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, if there's any more questions on this one, let us know. We also have another webinar that we have announced, and this one here is our 3D Puffy Foam webinar. It is June 26th. I should mention that the date for the digitizing webinar was June 12th, and we do have 2 different time slots so that we can accommodate East Coast, West Coast within the US and Canada, as well as hopefully accommodating our friends in Australia, New Zealand, and in Europe. So we did put 2 different time slots for both of these. The 3D Puffy Foam is actually June 26th, and it is an hour and a half webinar, and it's $24.95. So that one actually I do have within my little video. This is the design that I show, and this design is pretty special to me. We'll go to full screen, Mr. Deer. This is in 1998. I did 3 layers of 3D foam. So to give you an idea or a physical view of what this would look like, here I have some foam. And the way I did this is the eyes of the actual bulldog are right onto the hat. So that is the base layer. And then I started to build up a 3, a 6, and a 9 millimeter all on top of each other so that the dog would dimensionally come or pop forward, and it created kind of a unique thing. Now, keep in mind, I have seen this done, over the years. From what I know, back in 1998, I was the first person who ever kind of attempted this, and it did win me a grand prize in EMB for, I guess their competition that they did for digitizers at the time. Now, this one actually is the reason, to be honest, that I am an educator today, because I was writing for publications a little before that, but after this hat, I actually started teaching at the ISS shows and the DAC shows and the NNEP shows. And then very soon after that, after about a decade of teaching in the commercial market and writing for trade publications, I entered the home market. And for the last 15 years, I've been teaching mainly home embroiderers and dealers, across the US, but it all started with this hat. So it's going to be kind of fun because I'm going to give people in an hour-and-a-half lecture demo. This is not hands-on digitizing. I want to make that clear. This is an hour-and-a-half lecture demo where I will cover all the topics of foam. We're going to basically cover, I guess, the different types of foam, whether it's a foam that you purchase from a embroidery supplier as opposed to getting it from a craft store, and what the difference is between the two, because they both look like foam. There is a slight difference, just so you know. I'll be talking about doing foams on baseball hats. Obviously, this was not sewn on a finished hat. This was done in a panel program, and most really detailed work that you see is done on a panel program. But there are rules and limitations for finished hats and how you digitize for them. But the real thing that I'll get into is all of my recipes. The recipes of how to, pinch the ends, cap the ends, how you're going to use foam in different applications, how you'll sort of tie, or I guess hold down the foam as an object before you start digitizing things. That's really where it gets into underlay settings, density settings, how to not create really hard bulletproof stitches, because with foam, it's very easy to create designs that will not run well. And most importantly, you want your foam designs to come out really, really clean. And that's where you can always tell if a digitizer is good at foam. Now, these designs right here, and if we go to this one, James, these designs here were all digitized over 20 years ago, maybe even closer to 25 years ago. And we did do work for Disney. We did work for Levi's. We did a lot of foam work back in the mid-90s. But these are all dimensional, and I will also give little hints on how to make foam run well on your home embroidery machines, because sometimes if the foam gets too long, it actually will not end up sewing. You'll get a bunch of stitches there that will actually, not stitch because of the trim function settings on your machine. So I'll go into that as well. But this will give you an idea of how to do foam. And then I will show you, and these are designs that were done recently, because I will have some other, options, but this is actually foam that is incredibly clear and sharp, and there is no fluffies or straggly ends on there. And I'll show you how you can do foam with Mylar, so you can actually add some dimension into your designs. I'll show you how you can do foam so it is actually freestanding. So you can actually have a freestanding foam design that can be ironed on, and that's done with another completely different process. And then we'll actually show you how you can use foam and tie it into using foam with some motifs. So there is recipes that I've done over the years for using foams, using motifs and Mylar. So it's all about being creative. It's a very, very creative medium in which you can digitize designs. So I'll give all the recipes for that. And just to, let's see if we can get a really close view of this one, because this one shows a nice clean foam design. Hopefully can you see that there okay, James? Okay. Now actually let's get a closer look. Actually, let me see if I can get a closer look. Okay, maybe if I take, Wow, did you guys see that? This is actually, what we're going to call this, James, FSF, not freestanding lace. This is freestanding foam. This is a freestanding foam design, completely freestanding. So I'll also show you my recipes for creating freestanding foam designs. So this does get a little bit more advanced, but we are going to do some stuff that hopefully people have never seen or before. I know this has been done. I never said that I invented anything. I did not invent foam. Actually, I guess back in I guess it was 1994. I actually saw foam hit the market in the U.S. and in Canada for the first time. I did not invent foam. But I saw a hat and I bought the hat and I took an X-Acto knife and I started, going at the bobbin stitches and seeing what was inside because I had no idea what they put in there. And I found these little fluffy pieces of foam inside. And then I started to see how they capped the ends. When you learn new techniques, you learn from, seeing stuff that was done. There's nothing new under the sun. It just is learning techniques and getting better at them and refining them. That's your goal as an embroiderer and a digitizer, is to share your information, learn from other people, and then strengthen and build unique things that other people haven't done before. So this is kind of cool because you will get to play with stuff like this as well.
Somebody was asking if you could maybe show the hat up close as well.
Sure. Yeah, if I can find the hat. What did I do with the hat, James? Do you see where the hat went? Where my bulldog went? I have lost the hat. Oh, I think he's buried under here. Okay. So here is the hat real close. Sorry. So he is completely dimensional. And if you put him on a side angle, you see that his jowl and the tip of his ears are actually the areas that are built up with the furthest level, and everything else goes dimensionally back. So that will be an awesome class, and we do have some surprises within that class as well. So anyways,
cool. Perfect. Yeah, we do have a few questions regarding the foam webinar, but before we jump into that, I have the 2 winners for the beginners workshop.
Awesome.
So the first...
Hold on. We need to do something here, James. Okay, there. Now you can do it.
Okay, so the first winner on YouTube is Rita Bierman. So congratulations, Rita. And on Facebook, Judy Wall has won the spot to the Beginners Digitizers Dream webinar. So thank you guys for entering, and be sure to comment when, because we're about to give away 2 more spaces to our foam webinar. So we'll be choosing those winners as soon as we get through the questions. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Isn't he doing a great job? Okay, give us some hearts and thumbs up, guys, if James is doing a great job. Put him on the spot here. Maybe we should put the camera back because he's blushing.
Alrighty, so the first question is, will you have downloads for the Puffy Foam class with your special recipes in them?
I will. Actually, I will have some downloads of example designs, yes, but I will be giving the recipes during the session, and there will be a PDF that goes with it. Now, because keep in mind that not all software behaves the same, meaning that some software allows you to control inset values of underlay specifically, other programs do not. All software allows you usually to control the density or the spacing between the stitches, okay? Some software will allow you to control short stitches or half stitches, and others actually don't. It's a fixed value. So I will be giving little tips and tricks that you will be able to apply to, let's say you own the Hatch software, or you own the Floriani or the Dime or the Stitch Artist. They will all slightly behave differently, but the recipes that you will get during the session will actually be the recipes that I would use for any of the programs. How you apply them will depend on how your property settings work.
Cool. Susan is asking, what is the difference between Mylar and cellophane?
They are essentially kind of the same thing. I mean, a Mylar, if you go and buy a Mylar balloon, it's a really thick, piece, obviously. And I prefer the opaque cellophane, which is what we, it's a Mylar, but we actually have that on our website. And it actually, I found, is a little thinner. And as long as you have the proper densities, which I have given those recipes many times before, and I will again during these classes, it can actually launder repetitively and quite well. keeping in mind that you turn your items inside out and do not put them in the dryer at a high heat, because it will basically kind of shrivel up. But if you just put either Mylar or cellophane into a design and use a loose motif stitch, you will have problems, because there's a lot of negative space that actually has the I guess Mylar or cellophane revealed, and then that will basically get washed or heated away very easily.
Awesome. And just a reminder for any winners, if you have been selected, please email us at contact@embroiderylegacy.com, and we'll be sure to get the prizes out to you as soon as we can.
Awesome. And again, one more reminder for you guys, make sure you download the Super Mom design as well, because this is all about the Mother's Day, helping support, especially moms who are missing their kids or grandkids right now. So let's cheer somebody up.
Awesome. And Bethany and Jesse will be once again posting all the links mentioned in the stream shortly.
Awesome.
And one more question. Stephanie is asking, does Hatch software digitize your file in formats for most brands of machines?
Yes, it does. The Hatch software will actually export to pretty much any machine in the industry, commercial or home. And by that, I mean that all machines will read usually either an EXP or a DST file. So even if your machine has a proprietary format, like let's say the Bernina machines, they are specifically ART format. Hatch will not write out, it will read, but it will not write out an ART format, even though the Bernina software is made by Wilcom, but it is proprietary to that brand. Also, if you own, let's say, a ZSK machine, ZSK has a specific file format that is commercial file format that is not available in Hatch, but we do have ZSKs, and we load the DST files onto the commercial ZSKs, and there's no issues whatsoever. So all machines will usually read at least its native file format plus either EXP or DST. Awesome.
And just one more reminder, you can download the free design in our Digitizing Made Easy Facebook group. There are comments pinned where you can find the link to download them.
Awesome. And you didn't switch the camera when you said all that, did you, James?
Oops.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
No, I think that is it so far. So.
Okay. So we're not going to take too much of your time today. I know it's Saturday everywhere, and we just want you guys, we appreciate your connecting with us. I hope you've had fun. I hope you enjoyed that free design for moms out there. And we hope we can see you at the 2 webinars that we have coming up.
I actually think we haven't announced a winner for the Puffy webinar yet. So just give me 1 second.
Okay, James is looking for the winner for the Puffy Foam.
So just give us a few more frees if you, wins if you want to win.
At this point, they can say pretty much anything they want, right, James? And we'll.
Yep. So for YouTube, we have Leanne Graham. So congratulations, Leanne. And on Facebook, we have, let's see, drum roll. We have Nancy McNally.
Okay, so that was Nancy, and was it Leanne?
Yep, and Leanne Graham. So please email us at contact@embroiderylegacy.com.
Okay, and also keep in mind that if for whatever reason you're not able to show up live to the webinar, that's not a problem. You can basically watch it in your classroom afterwards. So even if you do miss the live session, there will be replays for 1 week afterwards where you can watch it at your convenience and watch it over and over again if you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so are we pretty much wrapped up, Mr. Deere, or is there more questions coming in?
I think there's just one more thing just waiting on Bethany.
Okay.
Oh, actually, we're all good. Sorry about that.
Okay, so we are all good?
Yep.
Okay, so we have to do our traditional thing that we've been doing here, Mr. Deere. Camera has to go on you. Yeah, I only have my son here for another, how long?
Another 20 days.
Another 20 days.
Yeah.
So I am taking advantage of every minute that we're together. And just so you guys know, we've been going out bike riding, quite a bit. And the old man is actually keeping up.
Yeah, he's doing great. He's kicking me. So.
Okay, well, thanks, guys. Good. We appreciate it, and have a blessed day.
Thank you, guys.